Good evening, you're watching India Prime. I am Sana Khan. Over the next half hour, we bring to you expert views on the top stories making headlines in the country. Well-known filmmaker Prakash Jha has had brush-offs with India's Film Censor Board before as well. Last year, his film was released only after he agreed to certain cuts, in fact, when the board insisted upon it. Now his latest production, titled Lipstick Under My Burqa, has run into trouble again. In fact, and though the film has won awards at the film festivals in Tokyo as well as Mumbai, now the Censor Board has banned its screening in India. This is what the Censor Board says. It says, and I quote, "The story is lady-oriented, their fantasy above life. There are continuous sexual scenes, abusive words, audio pornography, and a bit sensitive touch about one particular section of the society. Hence, the film is refused under the guidelines," unquote. A couple of spelling mistakes as well in the CBFC's clarification. At this point, we'd like to mention here at WION, we repeatedly requested Censor Board's Chief Prakash Jha to join us on this show and give his perspective. We tried to contact him many times, but he did not respond. We at WION believe in balanced and not one-sided discussions, yet there Mr. Nilani refusing to take our calls, nor did he suggest a colleague to come on the show and give out a clarification on behalf of the Censor Board. Nonetheless, we have a power-packed panel of guests this evening. Joining us on the show is Mr. Ajit Bharti. He's a publisher and an author. We're expecting to be joined in by Alankrita Srivastav, who's the director of this film. She's in Glasgow at this point in time. Also, one of the actors of the movie, Ahana Kumra, along with producer Prahlad Nilani. Also, we're expecting Hasina Khan, who's a founder at the Bebak Collective Society. Let me first up go to Ajit Bharti, who's a publisher and an author. Ajit, I want to take in your initial reaction. You've written about it as well, making a strong comment on social media sites by the stance that the CBFC has taken. Explain to us what annoyed you the most.
The thing is, we as a society in India, there is no denying the fact that girls have been victimized and they have been suppressed or shown and seen as second-class citizens since the egg falls in the womb of the woman, and since then their troubles start in this society, be it education, be it social companionship, friendship, or anything. You tell the girls, don't do this, don't do that. And then arts are a way to purify and make the culture of the society better. And if you try to suppress the art, I've seen the trailer of the movie. It is perfectly fine. If your society and the social means men and women use curse words in the society, why don't show it? Right. Besides, CBFC just have to give certification. Give them an A certificate and pass it. Why are you trying to judge people's ability to comprehend things?
Absolutely, absolutely. Give it an A certificate. Yeah. Why does the Censor Board really have to censor the choices of the people? People are independent and they can choose to see whatever they wish to if they're adults. Of course, your point is well taken. Let me get in Mr. Prakash Jha, who's the producer of this film in the midst of this controversy. Thank you, Mr. Jha, for speaking to us here on WION. Can you briefly outline for our viewers what this film is all about and your motivation for being a part of such a movie?
When Alankrita wrote this story and I read it, I was completely bowled over. The story of 4 women of different age group, living in similar circumstances, similar neighborhood. But the common thing about them is their inherent oppression, the suffocation of their emotion, their physicality, their sexuality, and their life as such. The kind of walls we bring around them, and we don't let their dreams fly. This was the beauty of these women and their struggle, their beautiful little struggle to come out of these walls, which is what kind of, impressed me most, and I was, very happy to produce this film.
This film sure sounds very interesting. Of course, we'd like to watch it here in the country as well. Also, Mr. Jha, the Censor Board has said that it has banned this movie because it feels that, and I quote here, it's lady-oriented and it's fantasy above life. What would you say to that sort of an explanation?
Well, all I can say is it is the point of view of a set of people who are probably responsible for guiding the rules of Central Board of Film Certification today. And the moment you hand over the power to, you authorize some people to interpret the rules of Central Board of Film Certification, or you ask them to guide the morality of a society, there is bound to be kind of like, differing views. Now this set of people have made that kind of observation. What can I say about that? I don't think it is like that. I think it's a beautiful story, well told, and it's not just me. The audience at Mami Film Festival, crowded to see this film. They loved it. They never heard about any objection coming from anywhere. It was awarded at Mami, Oxfam Award. It was awarded at Tokyo International Film Festival. It was shown at Sweden, Cairo, and tonight it's being shown at Glasgow. Next week it's being shown in Miami. So it's like, all in international film festivals, the film has been appreciated. And if you read the citations given by these awards, they read exactly opposite to what, the Central Board of Film Certification is writing about. So it's just a point of view which is being expressed.
Right. Of course, it's mind-boggling, to understand that why a film that's made in India is being broadcasted the world over, but only the Indians don't get an opportunity to see it. As you said, a certain section of people there, saying that it needs not certifying it. Ajit, let me come back to you. If you talk about the film industry in the country, we see obscene lyrics. We see item numbers all the time. They seem to get passed by the Censor Board. Why allow them and not a film like this, which actually seems to be much closer to reality?
Yes, as Prakash Jha is saying that, some people have become the custodians of morality of the society. Nobody gets to decide what I'm going to listen or see. There has to be some sort of benchmark or a line drawn. But you are telling, it is audio pornography and this and that. You are not, in fact, coherent in your views while you are trying to reject this movie. So, morality of the society has to be decided by the society itself if it has to purify itself. So, what I would like to say is that, Pahla Nihalani, how can you pass some lyrics like Nacho Sare Ji Fadke, and then you say, shake your bootia on the floor? What kind of lyrics is that? You are trying to justify, stalking, verbal molestation of ladies on the cinema. You pass them, but when some sensitive film, which is trying to give out a message to the society, how to, respect others' views, especially the females, then you come and you stamp it down. What kind of logic is that? I don't, there is completely a duality of sorts. I don't know what kind of problem Prahlad Nihalani has with other producers. We saw that the same happening with Urta Punjab. Drugs problem is in India and it has to be shown. Unless you show problems, how is the society going to rectify it?
All right, Mr. Ajit, let me try and connect with Alankrita Srivastav. She's the director of this movie, Lipstick Under My Burqa. She joins us live from Glasgow, where this movie is being screened later tonight. Alankrita, if you can hear me, how is the film being received in Glasgow? And also, I'm sure you must have heard a lot about what's happening here back home as far as the Censor Board is concerned. Your reaction?
Well, the first screening in Glasgow is going to happen in the evening, and the show is already sold out. In fact, they had to shift the screen from a smaller screen to a bigger screen because of the clamor for tickets. So I'm looking forward to the screening. It's going to happen in a few hours. And I've, of course, been following, what's been going on for the last couple of days. I, in fact, came to Glasgow only after I had met the revising committee and all of that. So I'm just going to say the same thing that I have been saying, that I feel that this kind of a decision of the CBFC to refuse certification to Lipstick Under My Burqa clearly reeks of a very patriarchal mindset. And I really feel that it is an attack on freedom of expression. And it is very clear that they don't know how to view films, and they're unable to view films in a certain context, and they can't understand alternative points of view. Maybe they're too steeped in the mainstream narrative, which is really it's very much about the male gaze. So you're constantly seeing women as objects of male desire and seeing them from like a very, very male perspective, which is why item songs and things like that are absolutely okay. And I really have no problem with that per se, but I feel we need to have a level playing field. If all other kinds of cinema are okay and being certified, then why should a film which presents a female point of view be clamped down upon? I mean, shouldn't the audience have the right to choose whatever they want to watch? So I feel overall the concept of censorship itself is quite outdated and archaic.
Right.
And we really need to shift to a format of certification. But particularly in this instance, I feel it's very, very clearly like I'm feeling like like the CBFC is really trying to silence the voice of women.
Okay.
And I feel it's high time. It's 2017. And why should there not be more stories told which are about women, but from a female point of view? So why should it bother this patriarchal mindset so much?
All right, Alankrita, Mr. Prakash Jha is also with us right now, and I'd just like to mention to our viewers that WION did try and get in touch with Mr. Prakash Nilani, but he did not take our calls. In fact, we were trying to get him on the show to have a balanced sort of a discussion here on what really happened, what were the objections really of the censor board there. But I'm also being joined in by Hasina Khan. She's a founder of Bebak Collective. Bebak Collective has been working in campaigns against triple talaq as well as uniform civil code. Both issues very specific to the Muslim community. Ms. Khan, what would you say to the censor board's decision over here? It says there is to show sensitivity towards Muslims, they're not giving it a certification. Your reaction?
Thank you so much for inviting me. I just want to tell you this is a really absolutely wrong decision, and I'm totally condemning to what censor board is saying is the name of the religion, name of the religious minority people. It's hurting. That's why we are banning for this film. So absolutely this is a wrong decision and totally condemning, and really this culture of the ban should be actually stopped in this today's democracy country. This should not allow to this kind of taking the very extremist positions what censor board did it. Actually, this is a name of the religion and Muslims community is hurting. Actually, Mr. Prakash Nilani should be understand. But so many films is talking against for the religious fundamental. So many films is against for the women and religious minority and various kind of the section for the women. And so this kind of censor board is not taking a stand for this kind of films. Actually, they allow to every kind of film. So why only for this film? Because this name is ये film जो है वो एक बुर्खा का शब्द है इसके अंदर, इसलिए बोर्ड को लगता है कि ये problematic शब्द है.
Absolutely, it's the story of women.
ऐसा नहीं है.
Right, I get your point. I get your point to a certain extent. The story is about 4 women, not just about one person or to target the title of the film. But we don't know really what exactly was something that irked the censor board. It's given out some really incomprehensible
none of the business is actually. Yeah, the censor board should be not try to stop to any kind of freedom of expressions. For those are the making the films, poster, writing the books, any kind of. They have no rights to stop to any kind of freedom of expressions.
Absolutely,
and I'm totally condemning
Ms. Khan,
for this.
I get your point. I get your point. Let me bring in Mr. Prakash Jha. Now, your earlier film Jai Ganga Jal 2 was released only after cuts after the censor board insisted upon. Do you feel that this renewed targeting of a film produced by you is some sort of a witch hunt against you as a filmmaker, known to pick socially relevant, maybe sensitive subjects as well most of the times?
I wouldn't be judgmental about it. I wouldn't say that, it's a witch hunt or anything. I think I personally make films which deal with society, and when you make a film about the society, in the broad kind of point of view, there are bound to be certain differences of opinion. And when there are differences, people do voice. And in India, historically, our societies have been far stronger than the state. So we tend to kind of like make big noise about it. So it happens. I don't think there is any personal witch hunt by anybody. It is nor it's just a coincidence that the kind of films I make meet such observations. But eventually the same films, when I go to FCAT or when I go to higher authorities, they do get approved, and all my films have been released, and never has there been any problem post release of any of my films.
All right, Alankrita, at this point, I'd like to come to you and ask you what exactly was your intention when you came up with the script of this film? Was it more about awakening, enlightening the viewer's mind, or did you think it was best to stick as close to reality as possible?
Well, I'm a storyteller, and I just, I don't think I thought about like what impact it'll have or anything. I just tried to, create like a film which it just enables the viewer to go through the journey with these four women and, feel their happiness, feel their joy, feel the difficulties of their lives, and also feel the, experience the spunk that they have. And really, it was, for me, the film was really about discovering these four characters. And it was just made with that kind of, I was really just, it was like, it's a character-driven film. So essentially, it was just about trying to delve into the inner lives of these four women. So that is what I have tried to make, and that is what the film is. So I feel, yeah.
All right, Alankrita. Coming to you, Ms. Khan, we are reading up a lot of comments being posted online, official statements as well. Now, what it does suggest is that this decision which is taken by the Censor Board is not just taken by one man, Mr. Nilani, alone, but it's a group of people within the Censor Board who unanimously decide that a certificate should not be given to this particular film. What does this really say about the mindset that exists in an industry like the film industry, where creativity is, key?
Actually, see, it's a 3-4 points is actually Censor Board is mentioning why this ban this film, not give the certificate. The one thing is saying that the word is using this film is a very abusive. The second thing he say that this is a hurt for the religious minority, Muslim minority people. And third point is say that this film is a very provoking for the obscenity and vulgarity.
Right.
So these are this argument is a totally patriarchal mindset what actually Censor Board is did. So this is a totally, that's I'm again saying, they have a Censor Board. Actually in our country we should to be actually abolished for the Censor Board. They have no right to say which film is right or wrong and who want to see. And see, this is the choices of people. If you do not like it, you don't go to the theater. But you can't ban the film. You can't give this film is not allowed. This film is very hurting for this. At least this actually Censor Board is really it's really provoking for the religious conservative groups actually.
Right.
Like now is talking about this film in the media and so many things and maybe Mr. Jha is approaching the court.
Right.
And the one ladai is happening for the other side, another ladai is happening for the Muslim community, and so this is actually this is a really provoking for this kind of issues.
Fair enough.
And मुझे नहीं लगता है कि ये बहुत एक सिंपल सा इशू है, लोगों को देखना है, देखें ना देखना है ना देखें,
Right.
लेकिन इस फिल्म को नहीं अलाउ करना, इसका मतलब होता है कि ये एक रिलीजियस माइनॉरिटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस को या बहुत
So
सारे
you're
कंजर्वेटिव
saying
ग्रुप्स
it's a
को
much
ये
complex
एक
issue.
मौका मिल जाएगा.
Absolutely, Ms. Khan. Let me also tell our viewers.
वो एक मौका मिल जाएगा उनके लिए लड़ाई और बहस करने का.
I will come back to you, Ms. Hasina Khan. Right now, I'm being joined in by Ahana Kumra. She's the actor, one of the actors in the film Lipstick Under My Burqa. Ahana, thanks so much for joining us here on WION. I'd like to ask you, looking back at all this controversy now, do you in any way, think back to what was going on in your mind and whether it was the right decision to be a part of this film? From all that you're reading on social media, the debates that you're seeing on television, the reactions coming in from the Censor Board.
Thank you, the reaction on the social media has been wonderful, because suddenly it's so overwhelming. People have come from all over, and they're telling us how they want to watch the film, and who is the CBFC to not certify us, because that's clearly not their job. They should just give us a certificate and let the audiences decide whether they want to go for a film or not. Coming back to this, I think I have been feeling a little scared since this whole thing has happened, because this has happened so suddenly. We weren't expecting this kind of a,
scared
this kind of
as in with the adulation that you're receiving?
Everyone. I just feel scared. No, I just think I'm scared to be in a country like this.
All right.
I'm scared because I feel, is it really safe for us to be women in this country, or should I have just been born a male? Because clearly the only people who seem to be having an opinion in this country are men. The women should not have a voice. The women should be muted. The women should not have an opinion. The women should not make films. And the women should not make films which are about women. The women should not use the word sex. The women should just have children thrown into chimneys, because clearly nobody has sex before having a child, So I don't understand what is it that this country is expecting from us, or what is it that those 5 people sitting on that panel are representing? Are they representing the mindset of this, of the majority of this country, or is it like those people who are on social media who've come out and said, hey, listen, you know what, you guys are not wrong. You guys have made a good film, and we are excited to watch the film, and we'll judge whether the film is good or bad.
Ahana,
so, that's what I
let me just interrupt you, because I don't want to leave the questions that I have in my mind before we wrap up the show. What sort of a movie is it? Of course, we haven't seen it. We've only heard good things about it till now. But what about the claims that it's too sexual in nature? There's too much bad language being used in the film. Is it a kind of a film that, one would think perhaps many times before going and watching it? For instance, could you be okay with your parents watching it with you?
For that, I have a really simple question to our the panel. What is it that they look at when they give a certificate to a film with I said that earlier, when you put a camera between a woman's thigh, or you put a camera into her cleavage and you look her up to down, and you're making her do really sensual, steps, and, you're lauding that, and everybody's okay going for films like that with kids, because those films are obviously a UA film. That's not a film that is an adult certificate. So I don't see why the discrimination. 100 फिल्में बनती हैं, 100 से ऊपर फिल्में बनती हैं, और 100 फिल्मों में, and the men have their opinions, and the men have their voice, and the men have their thoughts. There is one film that's coming out maybe in a year in India that's talking about women and their desires, their sexual desires. There is no bad language used in the film. I've seen the film, and I can only say this much, that I'm very proud of of this film. When I watched the film in Tokyo with Alankrita and Plavita, I kid you not, I had tears in my eyes, because I thanked her. I said, thank you for being so brave. Thank you for being so courageous to be able to make a film like this. And thank you so much for giving us the path that we've got.
Right.
I would have never even imagined in my life to be getting a part like the one which I got to play in the film.
Well, Alankrita can listen to you because she's also with us on the show, Ahana. She's also with us on the show, but we're completely running out of time. I would love to carry on with this discussion. The last word to you, Mr. Jha. Prakash Jha, what do you intend to do next? Is there hope that the appellate may overturn the ban? Any reactions coming in from the organizations, such as Muslim organizations, about this movie, the content and title of it?
No, it's not about that. I don't think there is any observation or anything. The film doesn't deal with any individual or religion or community or society. And for us, it's the only way out is to go to the tribunal. We'll appeal to the FCAT, and I'm sure that there will be an impartial viewing of the film by the board of the tribunals, and justice will be done. And I'm very hopeful about that.
Alankrita, I have just about a minute more to go. Your thoughts as we close the show, anything that you would perhaps like to say to the Censor Board, all the prospective viewers who may actually get to see this film in the weeks to come?
Well, I would just like to say that I'm very determined that the film reaches the Indian audience, because I respect the Indian audience, and I feel that people in India are fully equipped to decide, to be able to decide and choose the kind of films that they want to watch. And I hope that right is not taken away from them. So therefore, yeah, I feel this is an important conversation, and I really hope that we're able to sort this out soon.
All right, and Mr. Ajit Bharti has been waiting with us patiently. Mr. Bharti, what would you like to say? You, of course, associated with the medium that, is all about creativity and expressing one's thoughts.
I would go with, as Alankrita says, or as Anna says, or Prakash says, that somebody had made a film, watch it. Nobody is, hijacking the audience and throwing some stuff in their mouth that you have to watch it, It is people's choice. They will get tickets and buy and, watch the movies. It is director's vision of a society that we live in.
Right.
Any story has to be told, and somebody has told it. Let the people decide. You just certify it. You are not Censor Board, as, the name has been going on since ages. You are certification board. You certify it. Give it an A certificate and let the people decide whether or not to watch
Absolutely.
it.
Now, with this turning into a bigger row over here, it'll be interesting to see what the CBFC comes out with, whether or not, and how much time it will take to really clarify with the makers of this film and make it available in public domain so that people like us can go out in the movie theaters and see, because now certainly there's a lot of curiosity among other people to see what exactly is there in this movie. Thank you so much, Mr. Prakash Jha, Ms. Ahana Kumra, Hasina Khan, Ajit Bharti and Alankrita Srivastava for taking out time and joining us here on the show. We'll be taking a very short break here. On the other side, watch the exclusive interview with Amit Shah by our Editor-in-Chief, Sudhir Chaudhary. Stay tuned.